sir.
Good day, my friend.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, sir? Your name and where you come from?
My name is Mr. Valentine Matthew Okonkwo, a native of Nnewi, in Nnewi North Local Government Area of Anambra State.
Can you tell us a bit about the nature of business that you do?
Yes. I deal on heavy machinery spare parts, which comprises of Caterpillar, Cummins, Detroit Diesel, and Komatsu, and other related heavy machinery products. I specialize on these items based on the little knowledge I garnered from my brother, late Mr. Hyacinth Okonkwo, who was in this business when he was alive. So I learned a little bit about it before I broadened my horizon on that. I started the importation with a little known capital of about 85,000 naira, which was then $500. So that was how I started. I started with that amount. I started the importation with that little amount in 2008.
So you started 2008, and that's about 12 years into the business.
Yes.
Now, with this 12 years so far, before then, at what point did you realize that you want to venture into business, or you want to own your own business?
Yes. Let me add more to my introduction. I left University of Ibadan in 2004. After my youth service program, I went into pharmaceutical business. I was part of the distributors for Medrich Pharmaceuticals. So along the line, I was distributing their products in the eastern part of Nigeria. So because of financial strain, because I did not have enough finance in order to back the business up, I decided to go into this. So in 2008, I started the importation of these. I decided to go into spare parts business, into spare parts, that is automobile spare parts business, because I fell short of finances, which was not forthcoming. So I decided to go into heavy machinery spare parts, which I am into now. Like I said before, I had a little knowledge about this thing based on the little knowledge I garnered from when I was selling the products, the items to many customers in Aba, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, Onitsha, Nnewi. So that was what made me to have that interest at that time. So with that knowledge, I decided that I have to raise substantiated amount of money in this area so that it will help me in my future business. So that is where I am today.
You left the pharmaceutical industry for business. Do you have any regrets whatsoever leaving that area and coming into business?
I don't have any regret for now, because in less than no time I'll still go back to the business because it's more lucrative, and I'm well grounded in that field. But majorly, one of the reasons why I said that I'm going to continue with this business is that it helps someone in building up enough money in order to go into other businesses. It's unlike where you can, at least in automobile business, you can start with little, you can aim big and start with little. Within a short while, you can at least get to a level that you will not expect yourself. So I'm not having any regret, because in less than no time I'll still go back to that. But for now, I'm enjoying the business of this automobile business.
You said you started with $500 way
Yes.
back in 2008.
Yes.
And this is where you are presently.
Yes.
How has the journey been so far, starting up with such capital, and this is where you are? So how has the journey been so far? The challenges you faced and everything.
You know, in business, there is no business that will not encounter challenges. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy at all. But I really thank God for the extent I've gone and for the achievement. The business, because of the technical know-how and the ability to convince people, which I have as a quality or as one of my personal characteristics, I have been able to gotten to a certain level, because it's not about having millions or starting a business with millions. It's about knowing what to do with that little money. Actually, I have that advantage on my side. I have the opportunity to do what I know much about. In terms of marketing of products, I am very, very sound, because I forgot to tell you that I was a marketing manager in 2007-2008 for one company, Connect Global. So it made me to rise to the occasion of knowing how to deal with a particular product. So the journey has never been smooth. It has never been easy, but I really thank God that He gave me that wisdom, because the Bible said in the book of Deuteronomy 8:18, it's God that gave the power to make money, and actually He has given me that power to make money within this little while. But the journey has not been easy, but I've achieved a lot within this little space of time.
What are the major challenges African-owned businesses encounter?
Based on my own knowledge about African business and the challenges they encounter, number one is the environmental factor. Environmental factor. When the environment is very conducive for any businessman, it will be very, very easy. It will be very easier for him to grow fast. But when the environment is not conducive, it will take him a longer period of time before he succeeds in that business. Take for instance the environment of, let's take an instance of this Aspanda trade fair. A lot of customers are experiencing these factors, these environmental factors, such as the transportation system within this place, because the environment is not all that conducive. The roads are very bad. The electricity tariff is very, very high. The government are not providing enabling environment that the business will thrive. There are so many things that are linked up with these environmental factors that are affecting the business of any black man. I'm taking an instance of this little environment we are doing business. So environment is number one. Number two is the finance. The finance is one of the major problems. Many people have the business, the knowledge to carry out the knowledge to carry out a particular business, but they don't have the finance. So, and since you don't have any finance in carrying out a particular business, it will be difficult for you to continue with that business. And if you don't have anything like something like what do they call it? Something like collateral in order to secure or get a loan from any bank, it will be very difficult for you. Before you get any loan or procure any loan from a bank, they have to ask you a lot of questions, and you have to deposit something that is very tangible. So finance is one of our major problems, of a black man problem. So that one is what we are going to take cognizant of. So if we should tackle, unlike in overseas where government can provide a grant for business owners, or maybe they can go into entrepreneurship development, whereby they can help people. And starting up a business. So that is one of the reasons.
You made mention of two major challenges the black-owned businesses encounter.
Yes.
That is the environmental factor. And here we talked about bad roads. And
another one is insecurity.
Okay.
Another one is insecurity. Before the interruption, insecurity poses a serious threat to an African man in doing any business. I could remember in the late 90s, early 90s, late 90s to early 2000s, where people used to travel from one point to another to carry out one business transaction. A lot of people encounter attacks from armed robbers. A lot of people encounter burgling of their products, even in the seaports, even at the airports, where most of our products are not secured. Even within the market, like something like fire outbreak, people are experiencing a lot of insecurity in their business, and that at times it will cause someone's business to liquidate. It will cause some people many people have been affected as a result of this insecurity, that they don't even know what to do again. They don't even have money. Some are the people that started with little money. Maybe they collected the money from microfinance bank. On the long run, as a result of insecurity, their business will be affected in one way or the other. So insecurity poses a serious threat.
But some of these challenges we talked about,
yes,
how can the government assist us in curbing some of these challenges? That is the environmental factor, where you stated the bad roads in terms of electricity.
Yes.
Then the financial aspect of it, that is the capital is starting up, and
Yes.
also the insecurity.
Yes.
How can the government come into play in order to assist in fighting these challenges so that the black-owned businesses will be able to grow?
Yes. Government has a lot of roles to play in this kind of problems that the masses or citizens are experiencing as a result of insecurity, environmental factors like bad roads, grants or capital to set up a business. Government has a lot of role to play. In the first instance, government need to provide a scheme, something like a small scale and medium enterprise, whereby every citizen that has that that register their business and they know exactly what to do with that money and they have address, government ought to give them something like loan in order to start up that business. That loan has to go with little charges. It has to go with little charges so that they can meet up in their repayment plan. All this will help an average person, a Nigerian or any citizen, to have that kind of desire or hope in setting up a business or in carrying out a particular business. And that will help that person to sit down and calculate on the next thing to do in order to improve on his business. Another one is government need to do something about building infrastructural development, whereby government can build marketplaces, government can do good roads. You know, if government, there are a lot of people that cannot afford all these private offices and shops whereby they can rent. But if it's something that government set up, maybe government built on their own, they can give it out at a very low rate. At the end of the year, you know that you are paying a little money. You are paying.
All right, Mr. Valentine, we thank you very much for your time. We appreciate for joining us in this platform, sir.
You are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome.
Okay, Mr. Valentine, please, can you show us around some of the items you deal in?
Yes, I have many of them here, but because of the little time I have, I will start showing you. I deal on Caterpillar products. All these ones called front oil seal, crankshaft oil seal for Caterpillar. Then I have bearings, assorted types of bearings. This one is called connecting rod bearing for Caterpillar. Then I have kits. This one is called O-ring kits for Caterpillar as well. Then we have piston rings for Cummins. This one is for Cummins products. We have gaskets for Cummins as well. Many of them have different types. If you look around here, you see many gaskets for Cummins products. I also have gaskets for Caterpillar. I have these ones are for piston rings for Detroit. It's for Detroit. It's marine. I have injector nozzles for Cummins. Injector nozzles. I have water pump for Cummins. I have piston rings for Cummins as well. This one is called power steering pump for Cummins as well. They have so many of them. They have so many items like I have a grease nipple. That one like it's called grease nipple. We have Caterpillar liners. All these ones are called liners. All these are called pumps, fuel pumps for Cummins. I have oil seals for Caterpillar. I have liners for Cummins as well. Then I have this one. All these ones are pumps for Caterpillar as well. There are so many of them. So many of them. I have so many of them. I also have bearings for Detroit. All these are bearings for Detroit.
have any advice for a black person that wants to venture into a new business?
Yes, my advice to any black man that wants to venture into business is he has to do a thorough research, because business of nowadays is not easy. The environment is not favorable. Prices of items are going up every day. You might buy a product 1 naira today and tomorrow it will be 2 naira. And for you to meet up with that increment will be very difficult. My advice is any a starter in business needs a proper orientation. He needs to meet with someone that will give him, educate him, someone that will give him a direction in setting up a business. It's not something that you can just come into and start your own business. If you run into a problem, it will be difficult for you to recover your money. So my advice is that someone needed someone that will give him direction in business and give him a proper orientation. Another one is to first of all do a market survey, research in setting up a business so that you will not fall victim.
Do you have any last words for the black community generally?
Yeah, my advice to the black community is that we need to come up with developing our own country and trust our local content, because with buying our local content, our local products, we can uplift our economy. We can help ourselves in uplifting our economy. What we are doing now is enriching the white people and try to demote our own products. It's not proper that we should all depend on foreign products. If we continue depending on foreign products, there is no way we will improve. There is no way our economy will grow. So what we needed to do is, most of our billionaires in Africa should set up industry whereby most of these products will be produced. And when these products are produced, the prices will come down. Our children will gain employment. Our youths will gain employment. Then we'll start working out. And let's take, for instance, in agriculture, where you have, where our government, corporate bodies will help people in investing in agriculture. They will start producing a lot of products. When you go to every nook and crannies, you get the products. It will make things to be easier for us. It will make our life to be easier, because you can't just depend on buying pineapple from overseas, when you have all the resources to cultivate that pineapple. There is no how the one you bought from overseas will be cheaper than the one you bought within your locality. So what I'm asking our leaders in general is to help the masses. If the masses can go into producing their own by the help of government, corporate bodies, within a little while, just like what is happening in China, things will be okay and everybody will be happy. There wouldn't be any need for someone to travel to overseas to seek for greener pasture.
Now, what would having more black indigenous businesses mean for the black community?
Having more black businesses will improve our technicality, because an average African man depends on foreign products an average African man depends on foreign products, and that is not helping the matter, because most of our youths that are supposed to indulge into one business or the other don't have access to that. Because if you employ an African man in an industry where they produce something like plastics, it's not only that he's handling that plastic, that bucket in his house, it's part of the household. He's also seeing how the process of production takes place. So it will an African man handling even the processing level or stage of that product will make an African man to believe in an African. What African man can do will also affect other Africans, whereby we will not only depend or be dependent on finished products, we also know much about the raw materials. Some of the products we are using today, we don't know the raw materials. Something like, let's take for instance, ties. An African man, many of us have not seen the raw materials for ties production. But these ties, majority is being used, most of the raw materials are from sand, silicon. So when we go deep into how a particular item is being produced, you will see that it will help us to know more about businesses. Because sourcing of product is not only sourcing the end product, it's also sourcing the raw materials and every other thing that will make that thing to be a final product. So what an African man needed is helping us to improve. Our leaders, our captain of industries, many of them will help us in order, when they employ our youth, they are teaching our youth that life does not only end in that kind of that is the product we are using. You can see that someone that have gone to a particular industry and work and garner experience can also start his own. When he starts his own, that his own can affect other lives. So that is major area whereby an African man having his own industry will help other Africans in order to teach them and to help them in achieving their own aims. Another one is we need to register our business, in the sense that when you register your business, all those things that all these private bodies that are demanding will be very easy for you to do business with them. It will be very easy for you to get whatever you want from them. Some people don't have international passports. Some people don't have a driver's license. Some people don't have national ID card. Yet they want to start up a business. They want to do something with corporate bodies or private sectors. You can't just go into business without being registered in one way or the other. You need to have something that will make you to be on your own class, a class that will position you to a certain level. Whenever they see you, they will know that at least you have gotten to an extent of you are somebody that has something to present with, not just that you want to start buying and selling. Business is not only about buying and selling. It comprises a lot of other things that can help you in the future. Thank you. That one is insecurity. The system is bastardized in terms of insecurity. No one is safe again. I could remember uh, uh, before we used to travel to the north to go and meet with our customers. Nowadays we don't do it because of insecurity, because of the problems with Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram, all these bandits that attacks people on the highway. So that one is a serious threat to business. It's affecting business seriously. And bad roads also affect business, because when there are bad roads, containers that are conveying goods down to the east or down to the north or any part of the western country could encounter accident or the any form of accident, and this will affect the customer seriously. If he has a kind of if there is any problem with the vehicle that are conveying the products. So all these are what government need to checkmate. Government need to solve all these problems in order to help the masses, because we have a very good advantage and opportunity as a result of our population. Our population, if with this population, I don't see the reason why someone will think of traveling to any other country or relocate to overseas to go and work or do something there. So if government can provide infrastructure, enabling environment, and adequate security, I think doing business here will be worthwhile. It will be very easy for citizenry.
Now, for the private sectors,
Yes.
especially the banking sector,
Yes.
how can they make it easier for black-owned businesses to have access to loans in order to boost their business? What do you think, in your own opinion, they should do in order to assist black-owned businesses?
You mean the private sectors?
Yes, especially the banking sector.
Yes. In that area, what the private sectors needed to do in order to improve the business of a black man is they have to organize seminars, conferences. When they organize these conferences, they educate all those people that are seeking for loan on how to manage and handle this loan. And it's not about starting a business with 20 million. It's about thinking big and starting with a little. When they educate them and they discuss modalities on how to give out this loan and the repayment plan, it will help an average man to know how to go about with this loan. Like when I started this business, I used to go to AB Microfinance Bank to get a loan. How do I do it? I started with as little as 300,000, knowing fully well that at the end of the month I can pay maybe 50,000. So it's all these things are as a result of the seminars that I've attended. I've attended seminars outside Nigeria. I've attended within Nigeria, and all those things have given me the actual knowledge I needed in order to carry out with my business. So you don't have to. Maybe you have not collected any loan from any private sector before, and you now budge into it and start demanding maybe 1 million when you know that what you make within a month is not up to, you cannot pay up to the interest rate that you are charged. You cannot meet up with that. You now go and collect the money. So as at that time, I worked it out and I discovered that even that 50,000 would be difficult for me, but I have to double my effort in order to pay up. So we need to liaise with these people. Number one is the orientation. They have to educate us in order for us to know before we budge into doing business, because business is not all that easy. It comprises a lot of risk, and the risk that goes with it are very, very enormous. So another one is